Hi everyone, this is topic 4.1 Introduction for Reactions, and this is taken from AP Chemistry College Board. This topic is the first topic of the unit Chemical Reactions, and in this topic basically I'll be talking about the types of the different reactions and what are the evidences from where we can get to know that what type of reaction is it. So let's get started. There are two types of chemical reactions. The first one is the physical change and another one will be chemical change. Now, physical change is where the material involved in the change is structurally the same before and after the change. For example, if I'm talking about the melting of ice, the structure remains same, that is H2O remains as H2O, but it has changed the physical state. For example, it has changed from solid to liquid in case of melting of ice. There might be other changes also which can also tell you that the reaction is a physical change. For example, texture might change, color might change, then the temperature of the reaction might change. It depends on if the reaction is exothermic or endothermic. Then the shape of the reactant might change, and then the change of state, which I gave you an example also, that the melting of ice is in where the state is changing from solid to liquid. So these are some of the indicators or evidences which can tell you that the reaction is physical change. A chemical change is where the composition of a substance is changed, which requires the breaking and forming of chemical bonds during a chemical reaction. Now, as the bonds are breaking and as the new bonds are being formed, so it shows that there is something new compound or new molecule which is formed in that reaction. So that's why we say that it's a chemical change. And there are some indicators which can tell you that the reaction is a chemical change. For example, again, the change in temperature might be there based on exothermic or endothermic reaction, and then change in color, it might be like if the product formed is of different color, then there might be a change in color. Then there will be there might be a different smell of the product formed. So that's why we can say that the chemical change has happened. Then formation of a precipitate. Precipitate is a solid which is formed and it is insoluble in that solution, and that is where we say that the precipitate is formed. So in many reactions the product formed is in the form of precipitate, and that's why that's how we can say that the change is a chemical change. Then the formation of bubbles, it might be there when the gas is formed as a product which gets evolved in the form of bubbles or fizz. So that is where we can say that the reaction is a chemical change. Now, these are some of the examples of chemical change and physical change. You can see here that the example of physical change are the melting, shredding of paper, the boiling of water, or chopping of the vegetables. In all of these cases, the composition remains the same, and only there might be some changes like the texture has changed, or it might be the physical state has changed. And in the case of chemical change, you can see that the combustion is one of the example where, like burning of wood, it has changed to ashes and it is irreversible reaction also. So this is an example of a chemical change. Then rotting, then rusting, digestion process, these all processes are the chemical changes. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel Log Iota.